Hello everybody and welcome to the Minecraft 1.4 update video. This is going to be all of Minecraft 1.4, the pretty scary update. So, we're just going to jump right into it. As you can see, it's Minecraft 1.4.2. There were some bugs that had to be fixed in pre-releases, so it's ended up being 1.4.2, but that's okay. So the first thing we're going to do is, as you can see I'm on the title screen here, we're going to go in and we're going to show some new world generation stuff. So the first thing we can do is we can recreate a world. So if I just click on the world, this is my test world. If I click on recreate, I can actually make a copy of this and it will just spawn in the same seed with the same world type, completely customizable. And yeah, I'm not going to show that off because that's all it does. It just copies the world essentially. Great for seeds if you want to copy a seed. Really useful stuff. So now if I create a new world, and I'm going to call this super flat. We're not going to create it, I don't think. Put it in creative anyway though. We can now choose super flat, and there is customizable. If we choose presets here, there is customizable super flat maps. So you have Classic Flat, Tunneler's Dream, Water World, Overworld, Snowy Kingdom, Bottomless Pit, Desert and Redstone Ready. And all these worlds essentially are saying they're flat, but they each feature different things. This is just the basic normal one. This is an entirely stone one with dungeons and mine shafts and stuff in it. This one is purely water but contains villages. This one is just like the Overworld. This one is a Snowy Kingdom with only villages in. Then we've got a bottomless pit there. I don't know what really that is. Deserts, which are deserts, and redstone ready, which is designed for redstone. So yeah, that's that. You can create your own using this GUI up here by inputting your block and then how many layers you want it for. So here 52 times 2, 52 times 24 means sandstone times by 24 layers, I believe, or it might be 52 times 24. I don't fully know that. I've not really messed around with it a whole lot. The thing is, with the new world generation stuff, if you know that you want a world like that, you'll be able to find out how to do it pretty easily. There's not a whole lot to say about it, really. I'm trying to explain it in a good way, but essentially, if you want to use it, you'll know how to use it, if that makes sense. It's pretty easy to get a tutorial on it. I may even do one on it at some point when I know a bit more about it. But yeah, you can customize your own super flat worlds now. So if you wanted an entirely grass world, but at the normal height, then you could do that. So yeah, that is that. Yeah, and that covers just about that. So let's jump into the test world here. There's a lot of stuff to go through. As you can see, it's all laid out here. Minecraft 1.4. It should say 0.2, but oh well. So, wow, those slimes are really annoying. Let's turn the sound down here. Well, that's a little better. So, essentially, in terms of other new world generation stuff, we now have witch huts in swamps, and you'll see a screenshot on my screen right about now showing you what it looks like, and witches are meant to spawn in there. I've never found one. They generate only in swamps, and yeah, you can fight the witch there, and we'll get onto the witch very soon. I'll spawn one in and we'll look at that. So yeah, so, one other thing is that silverfish blocks now very rarely generate in extreme hills biomes. From what I see here in the changelog, on average it's about 1 block per chunk, so you're unlikely to run into any, to be honest. You might run into one occasionally, but it's nothing to worry about. Not unless you're near lava, then it might be a bit of an issue. But other than that, carrots and potatoes can be found growing in villages as well, so if you're generating a new NPC village, then you might be able to see them there. The carrots and potatoes, which are a new addition which we'll get to a bit later. So let's jump right on in here and we'll get into the actual content. So let me just go right to the top of the changelog. I'm going to go through most things in this video, so it could go on quite a bit, but we'll see. So what we got here then, general stuff is the server list has been improved. There's been an improved settings menu. F3 has been improved. and the language files have been updated. For the full amount of stuff here, then you're probably best off going and checking out the full changelog by Redstone Helper, and I will drop that down in the description. There'll be a link to that. I'm just going to go through the main things. I'm not going to go into all the major details of everything. So, whoops. In terms of gameplay, we've improved multiplayer. Spawn protection is now disabled if there's nothing in the ops text file. Spawn protection radius can now be changed in the server properties. We've improved the creative inventory, so in here, if I press, I don't know, while I'm hovering over this item, I press 4, I'm going to get a full stack of that item. And items can now be shift clicked around here, so I can shift click these around as I like, rather than it going into the destroy item bin bit. I thought they fixed that bug of the monsters clipping into the floor. Never mind, I guess. I guess slimes are a bit iffy anyway. Oh yes, talking of slimes, they actually now spawn in swamp biomes as well at night time. So a good place to go slime hunting. So yeah, they've added and improved a few commands. There's a difficulty command now. There's a spawn point command, so you can reset that if you need it. You've got a weather command, so you can set that. You can have a W command, which is an alias for tell. I believe that's like a message type thing. Added the clear command to clear the specified player's entire inventory, or just remove one block. Changed the XP command so that it can be used to give and take entire experience levels by appending L to the number, and changed teleport to work with relative coordinates. So there's a lot of slimes trample my crops. Wonderful. That ruins that demonstration. But yeah, they've changed it to work with relative coordinates. I'm not 100% sure what that is, but if you guys know how to use it, then you know how to use it, essentially. Oh no, my monsters despawned. I had like proper monsters in here and everything. Just the damn villager left. Oh, well that ruins that demo. This whole video is just going wrong. The sound engine has had a major overhaul. There's new sounds for placing wood, stone, plant, sand and gravel-like blocks. There's new sounds for walking on sand. I haven't got a sand here. Why would I not have sand? That's like the biggest change. I had to put this world together very, very quickly. I've not had a whole lot of time, unfortunately, as I explained in my previous video, but there we go. So, actually, you won't be able to hear that, will you? Let me just turn my sound up here too. Oh, they've nudged the minecart. That. Oh, goddamn slimes! Well, there's the new minecart sound anyway. This is the new sound. This new sand sound. Try saying that 10 times fast. There you go. The new dirt sound. The new soul sand sound. The new gravel sound. The new grass sound. New sand sound, and the new wood-like block sound. If you can hear over the rowdy slimes. So yeah, they've added new sounds for zombies, skeletons, cows, pigs, spiders, endermen, ghasts, silverfish, magma cubes, wolves, and the ender dragon. And I won't be covering those in great detail, but you can check them out for yourselves. They're pretty easy to find, other than the ender dragon, I suppose. But that's that. There's a new command block, and this is the command block over here. Oh god, they're annoying me now. Just be quiet. This is a command block. Command blocks are used for a number of reasons, and you set commands to change things. These are big for adventure maps and adventure mode. And these command blocks can be programmed to do certain things. I'm not going to go into great detail about them. I'll probably do a tutorial on them, but I will show you an example of one in action. Here, this is set up to a simple redstone clock, and it's constantly setting the time to 6 in the morning, so it's like midday. That's how Minecraft time works for you. There's a in terms of other sounds, there is a sound for leveling up, which is played every 5 levels, which is really annoying still, and a constant noise to liquids. So that's water and lava. So yeah, command block has been covered. Portals, they've been improved. So where's my portal? Here's my portal. If I spawn something, I don't know. Yeah, let's not spawn a villager. Let's spawn a cow. Because it'll give me a chance to demo the new cow sound. Whoops, didn't mean to do that either. Patch that up. If I spawn a cow in here, he will actually go through the portal. Well, they're meant to do anyway. There we go, it's gone through the portal. Now if I go to the other side, which by the way now in creative mode, it's gone straight back through again. And so have I, weirdly. Essentially, you go straight back through portals now rather than teleporting like you used to. And so that could be a bit of an issue. Yeah, there's a bit of a bug there in creative where you just get teleported straight back. That could be a bit of a concern. The nether's still very, very laggy, so I'd be careful as regards the nether and how things are working with that. But it does give me a chance while I'm here to go through all the nether stuff. Zombie pigmen, and there's a fellow down here. They now have the option to spawn with armor, and I'll get onto armor a bit later, but I want to demo while we're here. They have the ability to spawn with their swords enchanted and spawn with armor. But this is very, very rare. I'm trying to look around now and see if I can get one with an enchanted sword at the very, very least. But I've spawned all these guys and they're just not responding. I am on normal. Yeah, I'm on hard, right? Yeah, that's what we need. But apparently they spawn very rarely with armor and also with enchanted swords. I've not had much success with this, so I wouldn't worry about that too much. But you know what we have to do now? We just have to do it. Now I've got all of these. Oh my, look at this. Just look at that. Just look at that. Let's see if we can get the rest of them as well. Is that a natural spawn over there? I can't imagine him wandering all the way over there. Oh, that guy fell down there. look at all these guys. And they're all coming for me as well. Oh dear. Yeah, so they're zombie pigmen changes. Oh, you can go away. You were late. Couple down there as well. I'm gonna head back to the portal now. So yeah, that's everything on nether portals. And zombie pigmen. Let's see. I'm not going to put my sound back on yet. After that, there is adventure mode has been improved. Blocks can now be mined and placed with the proper tools, and they can also be placed in adventure mode. There's been many little minor changes, such as, well, I'm not going to go through them, but essentially the major one is the boss names have changed. So when you look at an ender dragon, it says an ender dragon, and when we look at the new boss called the Wither, it would say Wither, and that covers that. That is literally it. There's a few new MBT tags and that kind of thing, and we've had a bunch of bug fixes as well. So onto the blocks and items. We've covered the command block. To get a command block, by the way, it's give my name, or well, it'll be your name, 1371, and it will give you a command block. You cannot get it in the creative inventory, even if you wanted to, because it's not designed for that. Beyond that, there is a new beacon block. This is the beacon. It can be stacked up using iron, gold, diamond, or emerald. And what it does is it gives you buffs. So you need to have at least this. You need to have 9 iron blocks with the beacon on top of it. And I'll show you how to craft the beacon in a minute. I'm just going to grab a crafting table here. I'll show you how to craft the beacon in a moment. But what this essentially is it's a post-game item, essentially. And it gives you power buffs. And you can drop in either an emerald, a diamond, a gold ingot, or an iron ingot, and click done, and you can pick one of your different things. So that could be strength, resistance. You can get resistance 2 off one of these, jump boost, haste, or speed. So why don't we just drop in an emerald here, pop that in, and why don't we choose jump boost? And if I now tick that, I'm going to get the jump boost effect. As you can see, it sort of helps, I guess. How high can I still can only jump up 1 block. I probably wouldn't choose jump boost if I was you. I can definitely sense it. I can definitely sense it's got a little higher. Why don't we choose resistance. No, let's not choose that. Haste. Haste is a good one to have. If I choose haste here and drop another emerald in and click tick, I'll be able to mine faster. So as you can see, look, I'm swinging much more furiously, even on creative, so I can smash things out just that little bit faster, but on creative you don't notice it so much. So yeah, that's the beacon block really, and also you can get regeneration tier 2, so you can tick that as well if you want to drop that in and get regeneration constantly while you're around your base in a map. I don't know what you want to do with it, but well, worth checking out. There's the new anvil. This is a rather late addition to the 1.4 update. The anvil is essentially a way of repairing items, and these have sounds too, but unfortunately I won't be able to show you that right now. You can have a bow and you can repair it. Now you can put two bows together, or well, you can do it for any item, so picks, swords, you get the idea. Anything like that, it can be all put together, and you can also name it. So this is currently a bow, so why don't we call it the Deathman's bow. The unique thing about this is it enables you to be able to essentially name your items and repair them and keep their enchantments. By the way, there's a new ladder sound effect, that's what that's for. I completely forgot about that. So yeah, that covers all of the things to do with the anvil. They repair and keep enchantments, and you can also repair it with an item. So let me grab a piece of wood. It's going to be not a very good example, but say if I have a wooden pickaxe here and I want to repair it some, I could put it with another wooden pick, say if it was broke, or I could put an oak wood plank to it and it would repair it. And you use your enchantment levels for that, so it gives you something other than enchantments to use. And anvils can also be used to combine enchantments, getting the infamous 5 effects, which is where it's like sharpness 5 or something. So really cool stuff. They come in 3 varieties: normal, slightly broken, very broken. So yeah, anvils can also fall, interestingly enough. And I'll just use this over here, and it can be used to damage mobs. So if I click here, boom, and as you can see, it becomes damaged as a result of the fall. Yeah, and they also stack as well. So pretty neat stuff, I would say. Wow, they do really get damaged. Does it? Wow, that must be a bug, because they're not going to break that quickly. Interesting. Very interesting. Oh, because it was a slightly damaged anvil in the first place. Well, there we go. So mob spawners, they have changed. There's a few new MBT tags for different things, and I will, and you'll be able to find those out from the changelog. Redstone repeaters, these have been upgraded. This is part of the 1.5 update. This is like the first part. We can now lock redstone repeaters. So I've just flipped this lever. It powers through the repeater to move this piston. I can turn it off again. If I turn this, it becomes locked. So if I tap this, like that, then the power won't go through. Or, uniquely enough, if I do this and then block it, then take that out, it will permanently stay powered. So if you want something to permanently be powered, then you can do that. And there's going to be a load of redstone changes for 1.5, by the way. So you're going to have to be very, very careful with how you approach 1.5. If you're a big redstoner, then there's going to be a lot of fixes. So be on the lookout for that. The snapshots will give you an idea of what's going to go on there. So repeaters have been done. So let's get down here to flower pots. Quite a small addition, but I think these are pretty cool. These are all the items you can put in flower pots. They are crafted using 3 bricks. Oh, of course, I never went through how to craft the beacon either, did I? You need a nether star, which is a drop from the wither boss, which we will look at very, very soon. And we need some obsidian and glass. So, I think we need like 5 glass or something like that. So, to craft this, you put this like this, nether star in the middle, and this over the top, and this makes a beacon. And these are also used as a light source. They go up to 256 blocks high, so a really good way of marking your base. Interestingly enough though, they will not go through blocks, so let me just show you an example here. After a while it just cuts off and no longer works. So just be careful of that. That could be a bit of an issue if you're building them underground. They have to be above ground. So yeah, back onto flower pots. These are crafted similar to a bucket, but using 3 bricks. And you can place all of these items. I'm sure you recognise them. They're the saplings, the mushrooms, the cacti, the dead bushes, and the ferns, and the rest of it. You can put all in there, and they provide a neat little addition. It's better than the old flower pots we used to use with trapdoors. Oh god, the old days in Minecraft before these. So these are a really cool little neat addition for your home. Quite decorative, quite nice, and interestingly enough you'll see a red mushroom in a flower pot at a witch's hut. So yeah, that covers that. Cobblestone and mossy cobblestone walls, which are over here by the slimes. These are like fences. They completely act like fences, and they're crafted with 6 cobblestone rather than 6 sticks in the exact same way, and again 6 mossy cobble as well. So all these essentially do is they provide a way to keep animals in and keep you out. Again, it's and keep animals in and keep other monsters out. Generally, that's their only use. They are exactly the same. Whoops. Exactly the same as fences. They provide no other things really, but they are cheaper to craft than fences because cobblestone is much more widely available. So a good way of storing your animals. This perhaps not so. Guess this is more for adventure maps, I would have thought. Maybe make some balconies out of it and the rest of it. But yeah, that covers those. Let me see. So wooden logs have placement's been changed. This was introduced in 1.3.2, but they've improved it. So now if I right click on the floor, it will face up again. If I right click like that, it will place to the side. And if I right click like how did I get that one? I must have placed it to the right, I'm presuming, here. I mean, I'm trying to do this very much from memory, but you can actually now choose the placement. Instead of facing the player, it will face the block that it was placed on. So, yeah, there we go, just like that. And yeah, that is those. Wooden logs. Item frames. Big addition again. These neat little things can be used to store your items, and if you right click you can rotate them. If you have a blocky type item like this chest here, they have a beveled 3D effect, really good for labelling things. Compasses, interestingly enough, they also work as well as clocks. And you can put maps in there and it will show you where you're going, but generally I'll just use that as a general map to see what's around. And interestingly enough now, with custom map data, you can actually add pictures into these item frames, and they will look like proper pictures. So, if you wanted a picture of Notch, or your favourite school teacher or something on the wall, then feel free to use that. But if you want to use custom map data, again, you'll need to know how to use it. And you can find that out on other videos, or alternatively, if you don't know how to use it, I wouldn't worry about it. So there's been a new painting. The wither painting just shows you how to craft the wither. That's that. Corner stairs, another interesting addition. If I want to now have corner stairs like this, I can actually pop them in the corner, and this gives finally the roof effect everybody's always wanted, and the corner stairs type thing that everybody's always craved having, like this. I mean, I don't know. I'm just experimenting a bit here. She's our new log placement. And I suppose you could put them in like that, and I suppose you could form like, you might be able to form different forms of staircases with that. I don't know really, but yeah. Trapdoors, these now are flush with this area, rather than before where they used to stick out above and look really horrible. That is no longer the case. They are now flush. However, if you're going to use a trapdoor, then you must place it on the top half of the block like that, and if you're using ladders, away from the ladder, because otherwise it will look like this and you'll just bang your head. So make sure you just do that and you'll have flush trapdoors, perfect for anybody's basements who hated the little sticking up thing. Mob heads, these are a fairly neat addition, but they don't really affect many players. They're not a survival item. Get out of the way, slimes, seriously. So you can have the Steve head, the creeper head, the zombie head, the skeleton head, and the wither skeleton head. They only drop from wither skeletons because this is vital in crafting the wither, but in terms of everything else, these are creative only. And interestingly enough, if you pop this in a chest and use a filter by Sethbling called change heads or something like that, you can actually get different players' heads. So say, I don't know, you wanted Paul Source Jr.'s head in your adventure map, then you could type in Paul Source Jr. and it would bring up his head, which you could then use. Which I think might be a bit cruel to use someone's head, but Mojang think it's cool, so we're going to go with that. Oh, I broke one of the heads. So yeah, they can also be placed. Whoa, where are we? They can also be placed down or on walls. So say if I did that, you can put them like that. Like a little mantelpiece decoration, I guess. Interestingly enough, you can't put these in item frames. And by the way, I will probably go over some of these things in more detail at some point, probably on my test world. And we'll cover a few of these things. So, having said that, buttons now stay active for 0.2 seconds longer. And we also have wooden buttons, and these can be activated with a bow. So if I get a bow here and I shoot at it, then you can sort of like turn on a light. Or this could be useful in adventure maps for activating bridges and doing the whole Indiana Jones type thing. I think that would be pretty cool. Fire spreads more aggressively now, like it did in the beta days, depending on difficulty. So on hard and hardcore, it's much more likely to spread a lot more than if it is on peaceful. Let's see, scroll down again, plenty to go through. TNT is now activated when hit with a flaming arrow, so if it's passed through fire or lava or whatever. Let's see if I can... No, that didn't work, did it? I think you might have to stand within the fire. Well, maybe not. You need a flame bow, really. You can shoot it through lava and I think possibly fire, and it will work. It will fire that at... and activate the TNT. Potatoes, now we're going on to the crops here, potatoes and carrots. Potatoes and carrots can be grown, they are a crop, and they're useful in brewing. Not a whole lot more useful than that, but yeah, potatoes do provide a higher saturation than something like bread. They drop more, and they are also useful for... but the disadvantage is you have to cook them, and carrots are useful in brewing for night vision potions, and again they can be eaten. They don't have to be cooked, but they're not the best food in the world. From there, there's the carrot on the stick, which is crafted with a fishing rod and a carrot, and this is useful for attracting pigs. And also, by the way, carrots are now used to breed pigs, and... Whoa. And, seeds are used to breed chickens, so just another little thing to be aware of. And you can attract pigs using this as well. And interestingly enough, if I jump on Mr. Piggy here, who's wearing a saddle, I can actually direct him using the carrot on a stick. I've let all the pigs out, but that doesn't matter. So if I use this, I can guide him, and if I right click, it'll make him go a little faster. Whoops. Well, apparently you can anyway. You might be able to like right click on the pig or something and it'll make it go faster. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. Wow, it really does build up some speed when it gets going. Oh, look at me, riding my piggy. Yeah, wow, this actually does pick up some speed. Yeah, you could use this as a good method of transport. You're going a bit slower now. But now, yep, here we go, we're going faster again. It is reduces durability, and it will turn back into a fishing rod once it's been used up. I guess it's like simulates the carrot being eaten or whatever, so you can then use it again as a fishing rod. So yeah, pumpkin pie, which is what we're going to move on to now. Thanks for this demo, Piggy. Pumpkin pie can be crafted using pumpkins. And essentially it's pumpkins and a range of other different things such as eggs and wheat, and essentially it restores 4 hunger points. It has a shapeless crafting recipe, which means the stuff can be thrown in and it can be pulled out. And yeah, pumpkin pie, so really good if you have a large explosion of pumpkins in your area. Now we move on to nether stars. Nether stars are dropped from withers. They are used to craft the beacon, as mentioned, and it glows like an enchanted item. So, brewing. I'm whizzing through these things because there's just so much to do. There are 2 different potions now that have been added to the game. Potion of Night Vision and Potion of Invincibility. These should pretty much sum up what they are. Potion of Night Vision is used to give mobs night vision, and Potion of Invincibility is used to make you invincible. Now, it's permanently daytime here, so this is not going to affect me, but it really is in adventure maps to see, and Invincibility makes you invincible. So here you go. Look at me. I now am a floating sword. In fact, yeah. And also, the interesting thing with invincibility is mobs cannot see you unless you bump into them. However, if you are wearing any armour, then you will get noticed. Unfortunately, having said that, so it's going to really reduce your health if you're not careful. If you attack a mob, I think it then notices you. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it's a good way to bypass areas of adventure maps if they're just too hard for you. I will not be using this in my LPs because it's just boring. It takes the fun away from it, if anything, so I will not be using that. Anyway, from there, Potion of Night Vision is just used to give mobs night vision. Interestingly enough, if I grab a splash potion here of invincibility, if I say, well, I wanted to use this villager for a demonstration, but I guess we still can. If I throw this at the villager, he's still there, but he becomes invincible. Why don't we try it on this slime? As you can see, the slime is still there. You can see its particles, but it's invisible. So, really, really useful stuff. These can be used together with mob spawners to make invisible monsters, which is surprisingly interesting. It could provide a lot of fun for map makers. So potions can now have any effect, any of the available ones anyway, level and duration. They're all saved using the MBT tags. Maps have now been changed. You craft an empty map. I'm not going to go through this one because it's a bit weird how it works. But essentially you can craft an empty map and then you can right click and it fills it out for you using the chunks you have generated. So it knows what's where, and if you put paper around a map, you can then, whoops, forgot what I was going to say now, I'm losing track here. You can make the map bigger, so it starts off really, really zoomed in, like this one in the item frame, and then you can expand it out from there, because at the moment this one, each one represents a block, and it kind of zooms out like that, and I think it can go up to something like size 8, so you can get a really, really large area covered, and they're labelled map 0 and then so on. Crafting an existing map with an empty map receives an extra copy so you can share it with your friends. Beyond that, wow, it's getting dark. Let's just turn off the rain. Yeah. That's about it, so you can share maps with your friends. Now we move on to armour. Armour is now dyeable. I'm going to do a demo for this one. So I have 4 different dyes here and 4 different pieces of armour. So I can just drop them in, and leather armour has been retextured, by the way. Very, very cool stuff. So let's do some red pants. Why don't we do a yellow jersey here, and we'll do a lime cap. So there are 1, 6, 7, 7, 7, 2, 1, 5 different colours. Now I know that sounds like a lot, but yeah. Very weird, but very cool at the same time. By the way, if you wear armour and you're invincible, mobs will still notice you're there. Oh dear. I just love this. You could just pretend not to be here and crouch as well. If you had no armour on and you crouched on servers, no one would know you're there. So yeah, they've had a complete retexture. Diamond armour has had like a little notch added. A slight retexture. I've not seen any noticeable change. Yeah, there's a little notch there. Look, you can, if I just go out of here and into F5 mode, it's sort of like more shoulder pads now than it was before. Okay, so whoops, let's get back into it here. There are new mobs. There is the Wither. And the wither is crafted similar to a golem, in a sense that it uses soul sand and then the 3 wither skeleton skulls, which you get off wither skeletons. Wither skeletons they spawn in nether fortresses only, or you could spawn them using skeleton eggs in the nether. More often than not, you will get wither skeletons. Skeletons are also now naturally generated in the nether. So here is a wither, and he's currently charging up, and I put him in bedrock. The sky turns darker when fighting him. I put him in bedrock because he can destroy any other block. They have sound effects. Oh, actually, I should really put on the sound here. Let's just put it up to 10. It has an interesting sound effect. Because of the fact he's trapped in bedrock, it makes it really easy to kill. He could try and get out, but honestly, he won't be able to. But this dude could even break through obsidian, so be very careful. And when he gets to half health, he becomes immune to arrows, so you've got to really get up personal with him. And he drops a ton of experience and the nether star, which you can then use in the beacon recipe. Not too hard to craft, but really hard. Oh, hello. Really hard to fight. Zombie pigmen sometimes spawn around nether portals, but they'll always try and get back if they can. Like this one is now. They will always try and get as close to the portal as possible. But occasionally they will spawn near another portal. So, interesting. You're going to have a continuous supply, so very slowly, of iron ingots. Not iron ingots, sorry, gold nuggets. So there's the wither skeletons we've covered. The witch is a new mob. No, I wouldn't say a boss mob, but definitely the toughest of any mob that is currently in the game. They spawn in the witch huts. Sort of like an offshoot villager, as Dinnerbone says. And this is what they look like, and they throw potions at you. So in survival, they will throw all sorts of potions at you and drop all sorts of random loot. You can check the wiki for that, for the exact standards of what they actually drop. Because there's a lot of items, and it's hard to remember. But yeah, they spawn in the huts, and you can also spawn them using the spawn egg here. Okay, so what's left? Bats. Bats spawn naturally in dark caves or in dark places. So if I head over here to my frightening forest stuff, you'll probably find 1 or 2 bats hanging around. See if we can see one. Can't see one under here. You may occasionally see one flying around. Wow, surprisingly there is no bats. It has to get pretty dark for them to spawn. They spawn naturally in caves or in dark places such as this. But yeah, you may see the odd one floating around. Yeah, here's one. Look, there's a bat. Ah, here's a big tree where it's all dark. This is where all the monsters are. And as you can hear, they make their own little noises. They're not too strong and they're passive, so enjoy them. They're not going to hurt. And they just float around, adding a nice little visual effect. Tamed wolves can have their collars dyed by using dye, which is a long-term feature. Iron golems now attack creepers, slimes and magma cubes. All hostile mobs will now jump down to the player so long as they can survive the damage, survive the fall damage. And depending on difficulty, they are willing to take more damage. So on hard or hardcore, they will jump down and be left with half a heart of health, but they will not jump down if it will kill them. Their AI has been improved there. Zombies, zombie pigmen, skeletons and wither skeletons now, very rarely, depending on difficulty, will have the ability to pick up blocks, weapons and tools, and they can also wear armor, and they can hold different things. Yeah, so all equipped gear is functional, so zombies can spawn with an iron sword or an iron shovel, which was what this demo was over here before it went horribly wrong. And our villager buddy is back. From the invincibility, and they will attack you with them. They have that. So zombies and skeletons will spawn. They can get all different types of armor. I think it includes diamond, but diamond is very, very rare. Most common is leather and gold. Occasionally I've seen chain. I've not seen iron, though I've heard and seen iron, but you can also spawn diamond. But I think it might be 1 in like every 10,000th enemy spawns with diamonds, so you're not even going to guarantee to see them. But yeah, skeletons' bows sometimes are enchanted, and as I've explained all about zombie pigmen, and lastly villagers. Yeah, the trading has changed with them. All villagers of one village can now like and dislike specific players. They will like players more for trading with them. They will like players less for hurting them or their golems. When players are really disliked, our iron golems of the village can attack the players. After a villager dies to natural causes excluding mobs, while a player is within 16 blocks of a mob... Oh, hang on, sorry, excuse me. After a villager dies to natural causes excluding mobs, while a player is within 16 blocks, or if a mob kills a villager, no baby villagers will be produced in the next few minutes. Changed and added some trades to counteract emerald farming and to improve gameplay, and will show particle effects indicating that the changes of liking towards a player. And lastly, we've explained about pigs and we've explained about slimes. This is probably second to the 1.3 update. I'd say there was a bit more in 1.3, but certainly this is more of the map makers update, I would think. There's a lot of new little things visually appealing, as well as things like new bosses, the new mobs, lots of different things, the anvils and the rest of it. And I've been talking for an incredibly long time, so this is probably going to get split up into more than one part, because I think this might be getting on for 40 minutes. I'll see. I might put it up all in one, to be honest. I think it might be easier. It might just take a long while to upload. But yeah, that is everything for 1.4. I'm sorry if it's kind of boring, but well, I've covered everything. I will probably go in depth into a few more things as time goes on. But it probably in this world, and I will show you some of the stuff there. So that is just about it for this video, so I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope to see you next time on probably next week's snapshot, when we begin the preparations for Minecraft 1.5. Personally, I would like to see now bug fixes. I think what is that? A little slime in the minecart. I would like to see now the engines overhauled, the modding API finished, all of this little amount of stuff that, well, I wouldn't say it's little, but the back end stuff now needs doing. I think we've got enough features to keep us going for an incredibly long time. I think now the lighting engine needs to be overhauled to get rid of the black spots in the terrain. I know Dinnerbone had a go at it, but it didn't work. And I think the block renderer needs to be overhauled so we can have better texture packs. I know Grum is working on that right now. Well, not literally this second, but I know that's his job at the moment. They need to improve the logins a bit better so we can change our usernames, but I know Molstam's working on that as well. And we need to improve a lot of the back-end stuff now, I think. Things like the engines and the modding API all need sorting out now, ready for 1.5, because they've been promising it, I think, since like 1.2, when they first introduced the new world height and conversion to Anvil. That was the first stages of it. So that's what I would like to see in 1.5. I mean, I don't mind waiting 6 months or whatever for an update now. They could release an interim update, 1.4.5, release an interim. If there's enough features that they want to add, then we just release an interim update, rather than just keep waiting forever on the modding API. But that's what I would like to see finished next. All of those engines and bugs and stuff. But yeah, really, really good stuff. Oh, arrows do go through portals then. I thought they might not. Interesting. Oh, that went through. That went through to the other side. Yeah, arrows can actually travel through nether portals. Yeah, so if you actually put a back into your nether portal, you can actually fire arrows through it. That's a good way of testing for going into an adventure map if there's spawners nearby. As you can see, all the arrows have fallen down there. And that is just about everything. That's everything I was thinking of. And no doubt we will cover some of these things in series, no doubt. But yeah, so as I've said, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you next time. And until then, see you later, and have a good day.